Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Best in Slot, and tonight we're going to do a little bit of speculation, not on Jurassic World Evolution for once, but instead on the next game from its creators, Frontier Developments. Why are you wasting my time with this Best in Slot, you absolute nincompoop? I hear you cry. Well, anonymous YouTube person I just made up in my head, it's because that game could well be the Zoo Tycoon sequel-ish we've always wanted and dreamed about. But let's backtrack a little bit. It's worth saying straight up, Frontier is now a huge company. Officially, they're just huge. They've grown massively. I suspect they'll end up in world domination kind of territory pretty soon. They've got loads of employees, incredible revenue. What was once a pretty unheard of developer with some pretty great games has suddenly exploded in the last 4 years as they made the move to self-publishing their own work. Starting of course with Elite Dangerous in 2014, Planet Coaster in 2016, and Jurassic World Evolution in 2018. Back in 2017, late 2017, Frontier published a document, which I'm going to link down below for those interested. You should read it, it's actually pretty interesting, focusing on the growth of the company both financially and in terms of game output. The important bit from all of it for us here is the idea that they wish to start producing a new game every 12 months, rather than the 2 or so year delay that you've seen between their existing 3 titles. In the process, they're going to double their staff numbers. Frontier, as I say, are exploding. Anyway, 4 months ago, back in September of 2018, the economic magazine Shares posted an article talking about Frontier and essentially trying to hype them up as a good option for the future. It's plenty interesting if you're into that sort of thing, but again we want to focus on one specific section. This time a quote from CEO and founder David Braden. God, I hope that's how you pronounce that. He said, "Franchise 4? Which is based on our own unannounced IP," he probably didn't say it in that kind of squeaky voice, "which is based on our own unannounced IP, is now in full development and targeted for release in full year 2020, and 2 more new franchises are in earlier stages of development. I imagine Franchise 4, whatever that may be, will be the game that kickstarts their new once-a-year policy, leading to that game in 2020, so it'll be 2 years between Elite Dangerous to Planet Coaster to Jurassic World Evolution to 4th game in 2020, that's 2 years apiece, and then 1 year from then on, so 2021, 2022, 2023, you guys know how years work. But the interesting part of this is that it's also their own unannounced IP, so it's a Frontier IP that hasn't been announced yet. That is, it's not Elite, it's not Planet Coaster, and it's definitely, of course, not Jurassic World. They also have 2 other new franchises in early stages of development, which actually probably kills my idea of a Jurassic World Evolution sequel, but hey ho. It's also worth remembering for later on that he mentions how Franchise 4 is in full development. One more little article. Just yesterday, GamesIndustry.biz posted an article talking about Jurassic World Evolution and Planet Coaster surpassing 2 million sales, making the former the fastest selling game they've ever had by a country mile, by the by. Jurassic World Evolution sales are incredible. And within that article, David Braden again mentioned the 4th franchise, this time saying, "I look forward to providing more details about our 4th game franchise as well as our existing franchises in the coming months. So not only will the existing 3 games continue to get updates in 2019, as we've come to expect, but the 4th game will be announced in the coming months." Not like the not coming months, in like the super far away months, but the coming months. Realistically, within Q1 or Q2 2019, you'd imagine. Okay, so we're going to hear about a brand new Frontier game within the next few months. That's definitely happening. It's pretty exciting. But why would it be a zoo game specifically? Well, Frontier has experience in this area for one. They've built theme parks before in Planet Coaster, they've built animal parks before in Jurassic World Evolution and the ill-received Xbox One Zoo Tycoon game, as well as a lot of experience animating animals through the Connectimals game. This is clearly something they quite enjoy doing. But the real kicker for this whole thing requires a look at the EU Intellectual Property Office, which I'm now going to refer to as UIPO, or WIPO. I'm going to call it UIPO. Frontier have a lot of trademarks on UIPO. There's a couple of expired ones and a few which I assume will be left to die eventually, as they seem to be precursors to their 2015 registration of Planet Coaster. There's stuff like Coaster Crazy and Coaster Park Tycoon, which I don't think will ever go anywhere. The thing is, in 2015 Frontier trademarked a bunch of Elite stuff, and they trademarked Planet Coaster, and nothing else but one. And that one thing was Planet Safari. Ever since then, and particularly since the release of Planet Coaster in 2016, people have been wondering whether Planet Safari would ever see the light of day. A Zoo Tycoon style game with the incredible customization offered by the likes of Planet Coaster. Basically the Zoo Tycoon sequel Frontier probably wished they could have made, rather than that ill-fated Xbox One game, also now on PC, and also admittedly, which I do kind of love, even if it's fairly bad. There's actually a few more reasons to believe this is the case. The only other trademarks filed by Frontier since then are more Elite Dangerous stuff, and then, just last year in 2018, a huge host of Planet games. We're talking Planet City, Planet Gulf, Planet Hospital, and yes, Planet Zoo. I could honestly go on and on. There's all told 9 different Planet titles trademarked by Frontier last year. Jurassic World Evolution is not on the list, assumedly held by somebody else somewhere else I cannot for the life of me find, but Frontier themselves are clearly registering their own unique franchises, like Planet Coaster, like Elite Dangerous, with Uepo. I love that. With this new and again unique to Frontier, like I mentioned before, IP due to be announced in the next few months, the chances of it not yet being trademarked seem incredibly low to me. So the odds are that it is in fact one of the games from that list. Jurassic World Evolution isn't on that list, which would seem to cast doubt on that, but Jurassic World Evolution isn't a Frontier IP, whereas every other Frontier IP is available on that list. Now, a lot of those games are probably there just in case. I don't think we're ever likely to see Planet Gulf, for example. What a shame. But it seems that Frontier intend to turn Planet Whatever into a known signifier for their company, a company quite clearly still focused heavily on simulation games. Now, maybe Planet Safari, filed all the way back in 2015 along with Planet Coaster, remember, is actually going to go with the name Planet Zoo. Possibly a better idea, in my opinion, but the fact remains that they have 2 separate and one of those long-standing trademarks for an animal-based Planet Something game. They've got extensive history in the area, they have no other trademarks that stand out as a logical next title. Their 4th title was also in development as of September last year, in full development as of September last year, as I mentioned earlier in this video, and assumedly had been for at least a few months prior. The trademarks were only filed late March of 2018, only 5 months prior to that. All of this is of course speculative. There may well be something I'm missing here, but all the stars seem to have aligned, and I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and say that by June of this year we know of the next Frontier game, and it will be either Planet Safari or Planet Zoo. I'm going to look really bloody stupid if they announce Planet Gulf. I did consider briefly the idea that Planet would be the IP itself and they're going to attach all these different words to Planet, and then a new IP wouldn't include Planet, but the fact that there's nothing else on Uepo suggests to me that isn't the case. Either way, all of this is enough for me to be excited, personally. Long-time viewers will know just how much I love Zoo Tycoon 2, and I know just how so many of you guys at home love it as well. In reality, we've not had a good zoo game ever since Zoo Tycoon 2 came out. Some games have come close in their own ways, and I stand by Parkasaurus possibly being the best of the bunch, but a proper full-on classic non-dinosaur zoo management game with proper creative controls, not one single game in 14 years, over 14 years, sticks out to me ever since Zoo Tycoon 2 was released. It's really about time that changed, I think. That's it from me, folks. I will of course update you all the moment we get any more information at all, and even if we're all heartbroken a few months from now, it's completely my fault, I do think that the reasoning here is more than solid and substantive. Either way, subscribe to be kept up to date with news on that potential new franchise, and of course plenty of content on Frontier's existing zoo-esque sorta title, Jurassic World Evolution. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you agree? Are you excited about the potential for Planet Safari or Planet Zoo? And if you like this video and appreciate the work put into it, a like does really go a long way as well. It's worth a cheeky mention just at the end that the 2017 document that I've linked down below has a real focus on games as a service and the idea of updating them well into their shelf life. So I'm expecting big things from Evolution even into 2020 and hopefully 2021. They also mentioned they have no desire to make mobile games, which is just an awesome little kicker. Thanks for joining me, cheers, much love as always, bye bye. A little shout out at the end. This video and others like it would not be possible at all without the support of you guys watching me at home, and also everyone on this Patreon page right here who supported me in the last month. If you want to help out as well, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. Every little really helps. Cheers.